In this lesson, we are going to learn Section 9, that is Duties and Functions of Protection Officers. In this section there are 12 subsections. Let us get into the details of each section to understand better. Protection officer has to ensure that the aggrieved person is provided legal aid under the Legal Services Authorities Act. This legal aid should be free of cost. It shall be the duty of the protection officer to ensure that the aggrieved person is provided legal aid under the Legal Services Authorities Act, 1987, 39 of 1987, and make available free of cost the prescribed form in which a complaint is to be made. It is the duty of the protection officer to maintain a list of all service providers providing 1. Legal aid, 2. Counseling, 3. Shelter homes, and 4. Medical facilities in a local area within the jurisdiction of the magistrate. To make available a safe shelter home, if the aggrieved person so requires, and forward a copy of his report of having lodged the aggrieved person in a shelter home to the police station and the magistrate having jurisdiction in the area where the shelter home is situated. Protection officer to get the aggrieved person medically examined, if she has sustained bodily injuries. Forward a copy of the medical report to the police station and the magistrate having jurisdiction in the area where the shelter home is situated. It shall be the duty of the protection officer to ensure that the order for monetary relief under Section 20 is complied with and executed in accordance with the procedure prescribed under the Code of Criminal Procedure. It shall be the duty of the protection officer to perform such other duties as may be prescribed. The protection officer shall be under the control and supervision of the magistrate, and shall perform the duties imposed on him by the magistrate and the government by, or under, this Act. It is the duty of the protection officer to assist the magistrate in the discharge of his functions under this Act. To make a domestic incident report to the magistrate in prescribed form upon receipt of a complaint of domestic violence and forward copies thereof to the police officer in charge of the police station within the local limits of whose jurisdiction domestic violence is alleged to have been committed and to the service providers in that area.